Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're going to break down a really simple but honestly super powerful strategic tool. It's a method that's designed to help you find that hidden potential in your business. Doesn't matter if you're just kicking things off or you've been in the game for years.
I mean, this is the question, right? It's what every single entrepreneur faces. It doesn't matter if you're running a coffee shop, a tech startup, or, a creative agency, standing out is everything. So the real question is, how do you go from being just another option on the list to becoming the place to go?
Okay, so let's get real for a second. We're all operating in a crazy competitive world. I mean, just think about the food industry, for example. It's a space where every single detail counts. We're talking everything from where you get your ingredients to the smile on your server's face. The pressure to be different, to be unique, it's huge.
And that's really the key right there. Look, having a brilliant idea is a fantastic start, but let's be honest, it's not enough to guarantee you'll succeed. What you really need is a clear, simple framework, something that helps you look at your business and figure out, okay, what are we doing right? What's holding us back? And maybe most importantly, where are those hidden gems, those opportunities just waiting for us?
So, the solution we're going to dive into today is a method that's all about giving your concept a boost, not just strategically, but creatively too. It's called the PNI Method, and honestly, it's designed to bring some serious clarity and focus to whatever project you're working on.
All right, so what is this thing exactly? Well, the PNI method is just a really straightforward way to analyze things. You basically just evaluate three areas: the positives, the negatives, and the interesting parts of your idea or your business. And that's where its power really comes from. It's so simple, but it does an amazing job of just organizing your thoughts.
Okay, let's break this down a bit more. P is for positives, your strengths, the stuff that makes up the core DNA of your business. N is for negatives. And you got to be honest here. This is a look at your weaknesses, the obstacles in your way. And then there's I for interesting. Now this is where it gets really cool. This is where you find those unique opportunities for innovation, the real game changers. That interesting part is what makes this so powerful, because it forces you to think beyond just fixing problems and start looking for those creative leaps.
All right, so to see how this actually works in the real world, let's make it tangible. We're going to apply the PNI method to a business we can all picture, a local salad bar.
Okay, first up, the positives. What are this salad bar's biggest strengths? Well, for starters, it's got a really innovative and welcoming vibe that people just love. Plus, they use local, seasonal ingredients, which, is a huge draw these days. And on top of all that, they have an amazing team, one that's really professional and connects with customers. These are the bedrock, the foundation of the business. And here's a great idea for how to really lean into those strengths. Turn your team into ambassadors. I mean, imagine your waiters offering little samples of a new salad. You're not just giving away food, right? You're creating an interaction, you're showing off your quality, and you're turning your staff into these amazing walking, talking ads for your brand. All right, next up, the negatives. And look, every single business has them. For our salad bar, maybe those fresh ingredients lead to high costs. Or maybe the market for salad shrinks in the winter. And yeah, custom-made salads can mean long waits. But the key here isn't just to make a list of problems. It's about turning those challenges into a starting point for some really creative solutions.
And now we get to the interesting points, the I. And these are your three big levers for innovation. First, you could develop new options, maybe for people with allergies, catering to those niche markets. Second, you can totally lean into the seasons. Use those ingredient changes to get curious people in the door. And third, promote your producers. Use their stories to create a real emotional connection with your customers.
Okay, so we've seen how this whole PNI thing works for a salad bar, but how do you actually apply this to your business? Let's pivot from that example to a simple playbook you can start using like today.
Here it is, your three-step PNI strategy. Step 1, list. Get your team together and just be brutally honest, listing all the positives, negatives, and interesting points. Step 2, explore. This is where you brainstorm real actions to tackle the negatives and some out-of-the-box ideas for those interesting points. And step 3, test. Just launch one of those new initiatives, see what your customers think, and then adjust your approach based on that feedback. It's this amazing cycle of constant improvement.
So what happens when you actually follow this playbook? When you go from just a list on a whiteboard to taking real action in the world. Well, let's jump back to our salad bar example and see what that can look like.
Okay, picture this. You take one of those interesting ideas, promoting your local producers, and you turn it into a full-blown special event. You could call it something fun, like the Salade and Faith, A salad party. This is the moment your analysis stops being a list and becomes a real experience for your customers.
And an event like this is about so much more than just selling salads, right? It's about showing off those incredible local ingredients. It's about organizing workshops where customers can actually meet the suppliers. It's about creating a fun, festive vibe with some music and offering some exclusive deals to make people feel special. You're literally turning a simple meal into a lasting memory.
So what's the result of all that effort? Well, it's way more than just a quick bump in sales. What you're really doing is creating a memorable experience. And that experience, that's what builds deep, real customer loyalty. It's what gets people to come back over and over, and even better, to tell all their friends about you.
So really, the biggest takeaway here is about a shift in mindset. Your customers, they don't just come to eat. They come to have a unique experience. Your job is to make that whole thing an unforgettable adventure. That's the goal.
And that brings us right back to you. I want you to think about your own project, your own business. After thinking through your positives, your negatives, and your interesting points, what's just one opportunity, one interesting lever that you could start to pull on today?